Well, team, another riveting video for today.
Let's hope so.
The top 5 things we wished we knew before we retired.
And if you are new to our channel, we are Tina and Norm, and we talk all things retirement and finance and anything you would like us to talk about. And we would also love you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and perhaps give us the thumbs up because it helps our channel to grow.
And we would like to thank today's sponsor, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. We are very grateful to NordVPN for their sponsorship. What do we got first, team?
I think the first biggie, Norm, is we should have retired sooner.
Yes, we should.
We kept putting it off and putting it off. We were actually 58
Somebody else was putting it off.
We were 58 and 60 when we sort of officially retired and moved down here. But perhaps we could have done it when we were 55, do you think?
We could have done. And we wouldn't have had pensions from the government because we would have been too young. It would have allowed us to do a lot more traveling, which is basically what we wanted.
Yeah.
Our jobs weren't that fulfilling in the end. We loved what we did, but towards the end of our career, it was getting a bit long in the tooth. I actually did retire when I was 55 from my main career. Tina continued working for another 5 years. But we should have both retired, started traveling, and to fund it, we, looking back, would have used our RRSP savings, which is a registered retirement savings plan in Canada. The advantage of using that is that we could make withdrawals as salary from it, and it would put us into a low tax bracket because our income would be low. We didn't need to have a huge income. So it would have been tax efficient for us as well. Mm-hmm. So that's how we could have retired when we were 50 and 55 and had a more relaxing life. So number 2, debt-free. Mm-hmm. It really is the curse of retirement.
Yes, it is.
We've told you in previous videos, we had a lovely house. Our family grew up in that, our children. But the house started to own us, and it really had the whole time we were in it, because we had a mortgage. Then a few things started going wrong, so we got a line of credit. And then we fancied having new floors, new garage door, because they broke. New furnace, because that broke. More lines of credit. Yeah. Because we didn't have a big pot of cash available to pay. So you came up with a really interesting phrase about debt.
Well, we kind of found that the debt was owning us, wasn't it? That we felt we were on a treadmill like a hamster going round and round, and basically we were servicing the debt.
That's all that we're going to work for, is to work to raise money to pay our mortgage and our
and credit line payments and things like that. Had we realized that at the time, releasing that would have allowed us to be debt-free and go into retirement sooner. But while you're still pedaling away, earning the money to pay off everything that you owe, you become trapped by it. And as Norm said, really then the house was owning us, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was indeed. In 2023, it's important that you are aware of your privacy while you're online. We think it's very important for you to protect yourself. We have a VPN. We use it all the time when we travel because you don't know who is maybe trying to hack you. NordVPN is a great service. It's the largest VPN company in the world, and it'll make you safer online.
What we find is that when we travel, whether it's our iPhone or our iPad or Norm's MacBook or our Android phone, We feel that we are protected by using NordVPN. We think it's just great.
And NordVPN has very generously given a 65% discount to you if you use our coupon code Norm and Tina. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can get your money back. There's absolutely no problem. We feel better protected when we're traveling using NordVPN, and we highly recommend it to you as well. So, thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. We do appreciate that. So, number 3, reduce stress. That's your department, wasn't it, team?
That was definitely because I was the one going for massages every month and taking Advils just like candy because of headaches and things like that. We've talked about this before, but I didn't realize how stressful the job was. Norm did keep saying I was under stress, but I didn't realize it myself. You just handle the job.
Get round to Sunday and your stomach starts getting into knots. You realize you're having to prepare for the work week.
Yeah.
We were both in sales, so that meant that we had to do a lot of preparation work for our sales calls. And it just wasn't a good scene, really, for Tina. I was relatively stress-free because I was self-employed as a freelance sales rep. So I was my own boss. Tina needed to retire. And in the end, it really got to the point where we said, enough's enough.
Enough's enough. And surprisingly enough, within, I would say, 2 to 3 months, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, probably the first month, I noticed such a big difference not being in that pressure.
We will guarantee if you're still at work right now, you do not know the amount of stress that you're under. It's invisible. You've lived with it forever.
Yeah.
When you go into retirement, stop working, suddenly you realize, goodness me, life is wonderful.
And remember, that's our favorite saying, isn't it, Norm? That retirement is the best job ever.
Certainly is.
Number 4 has to be, we didn't really know how much our pension was going to be. We should have taken more time to go on to the government sites and actually get a better idea of how much the amount was going to be each month.
And we're talking about Canada, what the government is going to pay us. So that would be old age security and CPP, the Canada pension plan that we as employees or self-employed would pay into. In the US, it would be Social Security. And all of these organizations have websites that you can go on and find out. We just never bothered to do it.
No, we should have, shouldn't we?
Because it would have helped us make these decisions.
Yes.
So we didn't, and we got a letter from the government when I hit 65, and we were frankly shocked.
Yeah, we were really surprised at how much money we were going to get.
They were going to give it to us every month.
And we kind of looked at each other and said, you know what, had we known this, again, we would have done it sooner.
And the other thing that we would say is if you're British and you're living overseas, or even if you're British living in Britain, if you have additional years, so you haven't maxed out your contributions under the national insurance premium, you can buy years back. And I should have done that because I obviously left England when I was in my late 30s. So I had a whole bunch of headroom, and I could have easily bought 5 years of contributions very cheaply, and the return on that investment would be absolutely outstanding for the small amount of money it would have taken to buy those years. So we would say, if you're in Canada or England, buy the years that you're able to.
We left it too late, didn't we?
We did.
In fact, we were lucky that Norm qualified and started the British pension at 66. But we actually applied for it. I think it's maybe 5 or 6 months before you get it.
That's right.
And by then it was too late for us to have done these top-ups. We kind of went straight into the time that we had to apply for it, and there was no room to do top-ups.
The last one, number 5, our favorite, travel insurance.
Ooh, this is something we've learnt a lot of over the time, haven't we?
Oh my gosh. If you're in your 30s, 40s or 50s, buy travel insurance. Buy an annual premium.
Yes.
An annual plan, rather, because it's only going to get more expensive as you hit those landmarks. Yeah, as soon as you get 60, it becomes real expensive.
And the other thing too is, Norm, is that when you actually get to 65, that's when the medical questions kick in. When we were doing the trips and that, when we were both still under 65, you don't have to answer medical questions. The minute you turn 65, anybody you get in travel insurance with, you have to answer all the medical questions.
And a lot of insurance companies don't want you after 65,
No,
whereas if you've bought that plan, a lot of them will let you go to 74. Obviously, you'll pay increase in premiums, but that's just the way insurance works. So, yeah, if you're young, buy it. Buy an annual plan.
That's probably...
It has saved us thousands of dollars because we did that. So those are 5 things we wished we knew before we retired.
Yes.
And we hope now that you know those.
And we hope that everybody is keeping well.
And staying safe.
Until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.